Me, the accomplishment of getting not only to do the movie, but do.
What if I told you there's something about Grease that not only changes how we see the movie, but also reveals a deeply personal side of John Travolta? Something he's kept hidden for years. A story so emotional, it might even surprise you. It's not about the endless fan theories or the classic dance moves. This is real. It's raw. And it's coming straight from Travolta himself. For decades, this truth stayed close to his heart, but now, he's finally ready to share it. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Grease meant so much more to Travolta than just another Hollywood success. So, let's dive in. Has John Travolta's story ever inspired you? Maybe the movie Grease brought back some memories, or his career gave you hope. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how his journey has touched you too. Let's get into it. When we think of John Travolta in Grease, we picture the charming Danny Zuko with his iconic moves and confident swagger. But behind that famous smile was a young man dealing with something much heavier. During the filming of Grease, Travolta was still mourning the loss of his girlfriend, Diana Hyland. She passed away just before production began, and that grief followed him every step of the way. Imagine the emotional weight of losing someone close and then being asked to play a character who oozes confidence and youthful energy. It wasn't easy for him. But instead of shying away, Travolta found a way to channel his pain. Rather than retreating into himself, he poured everything he was feeling into Danny Zuko. The role became something more than just an acting gig. It became a form of emotional expression, a way to heal while doing something he loved. The pain he was carrying made his portrayal of Danny feel more real, more magnetic. And even though he was grieving, his performance showed that despite it all, he was still finding a way to connect with the world through the character. That's the real beauty of Travolta's performance in Grease. It wasn't just about hitting the right notes or dancing the best. It was about expressing a part of himself that few ever saw, and that emotional depth is what made Danny Zuko a character people would never forget. Through his personal struggles, Travolta managed to touch something deeply human that we all could relate to, whether it was the pain of loss or the hope of moving forward. For John Travolta, Grease wasn't just another project, it was a form of healing. In a time when he was dealing with grief, the film offered him a kind of emotional lifeline. As he stepped onto set each day, it wasn't just about acting, it was about finding a way to escape the pain, even if just for a few hours. The music, the dancing, the camaraderie with his castmates, it all became part of his recovery process. When you're hurting, sometimes diving into creativity is the best way to find some peace, and that's exactly what Travolta did. Take the iconic, Greased Lightning dance sequence, for example. That wasn't just a fun number to film, it was a moment for Travolta to let go of everything else in his life and lose himself completely in the performance. For those few minutes, he wasn't dealing with loss or grief, he was Danny Zuko, full of energy and life. It was his own form of therapy. The music and movement helped him express what words couldn't. And in a way, it healed him. But the healing didn't come from just the work, it came from the people around him, too. Olivia Newton-John and the rest of the cast weren't just his colleagues, they became his support system. The bond they built off-screen helped him through one of the hardest times in his life. And that connection is what made their on-screen chemistry so believable. They weren't just acting, they were truly there for each other, sharing in the highs and lows of the experience. This sense of family helped Travolta heal, and it's something that made Grease even more special than anyone could have imagined. Even after all these years, Grease continues to live on, and John Travolta himself still finds it hard to believe. A movie made in the late 1970s, set in the 1950s, shouldn't have the staying power it does, yet here it is, still a cultural phenomenon. People from all walks of life, from every generation, still sing the songs, quote the lines, and dress as Danny and Sandy for Halloween. For Travolta, this lasting impact is something he never saw coming. When he first signed on for the movie, he didn't know it would become something this big, this timeless. But what makes Grease endure, according to Travolta, isn't just the music or the nostalgia, it's the universal themes that it tackles. The movie captured that awkward in-between stage of life, when you're no longer a child but not quite an adult either. Everyone has felt that struggle of trying to figure out who you are, where you belong, and what love even means. Those themes resonate with anyone, no matter the era. Travolta believes that's what makes Grease so powerful. It taps into the shared human experience of growth, identity, and transformation. And then there's the timelessness of the story itself. Even though it's rooted in the 1950s, Grease doesn't just recreate the past, it reinvents it. By blending 50s nostalgia with 70s energy, the movie appeals to a much wider audience. It doesn't feel dated. Instead, it feels fresh and exciting, no matter when you watch it. Travolta is still amazed at how the film continues to connect with new generations, especially the younger audiences who weren't even born when it first came out. It's proof that some stories, no matter when they're told, will always find a place in people's hearts. There's something undeniably magical about the chemistry between John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in Grease. From the very first time they read their lines together, there was a spark, a connection that felt so natural, so real, that it practically jumped off the screen. It wasn't just acting, it was something deeper. They made us believe that Danny and Sandy weren't just characters, they were real people, caught up in the whirlwind of high school love. And that magic wasn't something they could fake. It was built from a real, unspoken bond between the two of them. Off-screen, their connection was equally strong. Olivia, who had been nervous about playing a high schooler at 29, found immediate comfort in Travolta. He greeted her with such warmth, it felt like they had known each other for years. That welcoming energy translated seamlessly into their performances. Even though they were playing a couple in love on screen, the respect and genuine affection they had for each other made it all the more believable. It wasn't just chemistry, it was a deep, heartfelt friendship that lasted for decades. Despite the undeniable connection between them, Travolta and Olivia never dated in real life. While fans shipped them as a couple, they remained loyal to their own relationships. Olivia was dating her manager, and Travolta was still grieving his late girlfriend. But here's the beauty of it, that unresolved tension, that what if, only added depth to their on-screen relationship. It fueled their performances, especially in the iconic final number, You're the One That I Want. It's this bittersweet longing that made their chemistry feel so special, unspoken, yet undeniable. Their friendship, though never romantic, became one of the most enduring and cherished in Hollywood. John Travolta's journey through Grease is more than just a story about a movie. It's about resilience, healing, and the power of connection. His personal struggles and growth throughout the film remind us all that sometimes, the toughest times in our lives can lead to our most meaningful work. Through his grief, he created something timeless, something that has touched the hearts of millions for decades. Grease wasn't just a role for Travolta, it was a way for him to heal, to grow, and to share a piece of himself with the world. And in doing so, he gave us all a piece of his heart. So, what lessons can we take from John Travolta's story? It teaches us that even in our most painful moments, we have the potential to find strength, to grow, and to inspire others. His journey reminds us that life isn't just about the good times. It's also about how we rise through the hard ones. We can all relate to the human experience of loss, love, and transformation, and Grease is a powerful reflection of that. If you found inspiration in John Travolta's story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of entertainment. There's always more to discover, and we can't wait to share it with you. Thanks for watching.